Actually, we have a lot of new songs for the new album already, and there is no space for piano, man, for sure.
Okay.
It will be very, very heavy.
During the first weeks of war, hiding from shelling and bombing, Vlad just composed about 5 new songs. Wow. Yes. I was absolutely unable to play. I didn't even touch my bass for a month. But as soon as the Russians just withdrew from Kiev, things in Kiev kind of, turned more or less normal way. And we started rehearsing, and I just felt inspiration and wrote the other 2 songs. And we are still composing, so we have some material for the upcoming album already. But it's anyway, yeah, we want to wait a little longer with the next record than we used before, and even compose many songs and pick the best ones, just like we never did before, actually.
Okay, interesting.
Time to change things, time to change the approach to recording.
Yeah.
We already have I think 8 new songs. Yeah, but I think that we will start recording it at autumn 2023 because we have a really
busy spring, busy summer.
Yeah, and we will have a pause in autumn. Yeah, and we for sure will
Yeah.
studio.
So we're gonna dedicate this the rest of the fall and winter and maybe a spring, just like we always do, for composing maybe more and recording and composing more.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's all about new album. Yeah.
I've got an idea.
The one thing that I can tell you about new album, it will be heavier, 2 times, and it will be more melodic.
Melody?
Yeah.
I don't know whether the album or EP or single, so whatever.
Yeah.
But new music is now on the process, and after this run, we have United States and Canada, and in October, November, December, we will sit it and compose new music. You never have time for new music when you're touring a lot, so it's was a rush for us to record everything, prepare, and then go on tour. This time we will have more time for music, and it will be better for everyone in the band to have more time for the music, for recording, for everything. Maybe for some lyrics, I don't know, but yeah, I think it affects us all for sure. Maybe we don't understand it, but in some way. So, but it will be projected in new music. Or is now it's happening now.
Honestly, we have most of the upcoming album written. I mean, in terms of demos, music-wise, no vocals over it, but just music-wise, it's already written, most of the new album. So we are waiting for a starting point to go to the studio, record, work on this, rearrange. We will have a lot of time this time. We'll have a lot of time for this. Definitely after we are done with touring, next step will be making the new album.
Once we finished with this tour, there are some few tours announced for the next year, and then some festivals and here and there, and by at the end of the next year, I'm gonna start writing lyrics for the new album, because musically, it's music-wise, it's almost done as far as I know.
Oh, cool.
So that's another chapter for me to suffer and to revise my past traumas and stuff. We'll see how it goes. Maybe after 2 years it changed, but I don't think so. I mean, I'm really bad at finding words. I need more time. That's what I wanted to say.
We are at 80% of the new album. There always will be something that has never been before. Otherwise, there is no need to make new music. It is hard to say now what exactly it's gonna be, and to some extent, I just don't want to make new spoilers, but it's gonna be definitely different from the previous album, for sure. Yeah, on the Wallflower album, I think we went even doom metal directions to some extent, because there are some very slow and very moody parts. Yeah, on the new record, to some extent, in some way, it's going the other way. Just maybe death metal direction, something like this. Yeah, something really powerful, again groovy, and something that just hits you, punches you straight to the face.
It's like, how are you feeling the difference between the two as it stands now?
It's more aggressive. It's more aggressive. I think all the negativity, we just directed it into music. So there are songs which were written literally under shelling, under bomb.
Right.
Well,
right. Yeah.
Vlad was writing a lot during the siege of Kiev. I wasn't able, for example. That's a very, very interesting thing. I couldn't even pick up an instrument when things were happening around me. He was sitting and writing with the guitar.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
As soon as the siege was over and the Russian army just stepped back from Kiev and things kind of calmed down, then it clicked for me. I started writing. Yeah.
We know more or less what the next record will be, and it's gonna be very heavy. In some way, it's gonna be more guitar oriented. At least the way I see those songs. A huge portion of them is just, pure groove metal with some progressive elements, but the foundation is groove metal and maybe even Lamb of God-ish a bit. So I would say that it's a sort of a step back to the roots, but as absolutely, different Ginger, not the way it was 10 years ago, but being different people, being different musicians, we just cannot write the same. That's, let's say, our own view on ourselves 10 years off. At the same time, there are a lot of really, really beautiful melodies, especially those which came from Vlad. He managed to write a couple of fantastic, mesmerizing melodies, and I cannot wait for his songs to be out so that fans can listen to that, because that's pure magic. Honestly, we need to write a couple of more songs and the new record is done, at least musically. And then it's Tatiana's time. Lyrics and vocals.
We're waiting over here, us Ginger fans.
I know.
And I know the live album's coming. I want to ask about that too. And that's exciting in its own right.
Yeah.
But like new. So how are you seeing this maybe being different from Wallflowers? You've had a lot of time.
It's going to be different, first of all, because I feel that the music differs a lot. And to my mind, I won't say how many songs there. I guess it's 12 or even 15. Let's say it's 13. I don't remember. But they all have, not all of them, but half of them at least, they have like similarity in them.
Mm-hmm.
They're similar to each other, or they remind me. They have this like concept within.
Right.
Without any lyrics, they still sound like they belong to one box. Like
They're cohesive. Yeah.
yeah, yes, exactly. They are like asserted, not asserted, but they are set of songs. And I already think about all the. I'm not even thinking about like the lyrics. No, I think about the topics and stuff, but I think about the booklets or the cover, or even like the music videos and what I'm gonna wear there. And it has a certain flavor to me that I'm gonna tell you that.
Yeah.
But I feel like it has this flavor of a 19th century.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah, it's very romanticism, of 19th century.
Yeah. You mean in terms of aesthetics?
Yes, if you listen to it, you will think, oh, it's like when you listen to Muse,
Yes.
you feel he was inspired by a lot of classical composers, obviously. So does our music. Our new music has this flavor, and I'm so excited because before we were like so into like spaceships and stuff. In terms of lyrics or in terms of like my vision.
Vortex.
Yeah. But now, I mean, what is more futuristic than being kicked back to 19th century?
Time travel.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Time travel.
I know you may not have like a date. I'm not trying to squeeze that out of you, but is there sort of a time frame where we may hear any of this? Because now I'm so curious.
Gosh, yeah.
Or is it
Well,
still very much in the
I'm
works?
telling you that I cannot say, because you see, I ruined our first single. You know, I didn't keep my promise that I'm gonna do it by the time that we start this little tour right here in April. Well, I didn't accomplish it, so I don't know. But at the end of May, I'm going to Europe to record my
Wonderful.
not yet written lyrics.
Well,
Yeah,
at a time.
I'm gonna be fine.
Yeah.
I did it for years. Been doing this for years. Yeah, so I'll be fine. So just for just a little
Snack for you. I will catch it.
in May or in June. Basically, the whole June is gonna be spent by recording vocals.
Very exciting.
And then here and there, blah blah blah. Some music videos, of course.
Mm-hmm.
I guess by the end maybe of 2024, we'll see.
We'll see.
Honestly, I forgot.
I will be eagerly awaiting whenever it is.
The new album announcement. Now, of course, all that was said, and even all I know is that there was an album announced winter 2025. So you guys have been cooking. You guys got stuff going as Ginger. What details can you say that, of course, won't get anyone in trouble or anyone, labels or management, mad? Is there anything, or is it just album coming?
I'm so bad at it because I don't ever know what is the right thing to say, what is the wrong thing to say. Let's make the first thing clear.
Yes.
A lot of people have troubles judging from the comments and on the Instagram. They kind of get confused of understanding what is winter of 2025.
Right.
So I'm here to break it down for you.
Okay.
So let's say winter 2024 is till December 31, and winter 2025 is from January 1st till the last day of February.
Yes.
Let's say that. And yeah, so we released the album in winter 2025, which is somewhere in January, February.
That makes,
of 2025. Please take a note. And yeah, and so the next thing,
yeah.
I remember I did an interview earlier this year, and there's one thing that, like, now I think, oh my God, it's not even the complete truth, because I said that the new album has a like flavor of 19th century music.
Okay.
Which is like looking at Rogue right now is like, what? Rogue is not even close. It's not even 20th century. Yeah, there are a lot of tracks that have this vibe. And when we release the next one and then the next one, you kind of people will get the picture of what I'm talking about right now. So we really always have really little time for everything. For Rogue, we had only like a day to rest after the tour that we did, like in Europe. We had one day to rest, one day to get ready, get everything booked and stuff, and the next day we filmed it.
Right.
So with Someone's Daughter, it was a little bit longer. We had to we recorded the whole album, the vocals for the album.
Yeah.
then spent few days, like a week for pre-production, then filmed it for 2 days, and the next day I flew back to LA. Rogue.
Yes, about Rogue.
And I wanted to say something. Yeah. Well, judging from the comments, like people say, "Oh my God, Genty is all the same. It's like nothing interesting." Oh, like, dude, you haven't heard even like a 1% of the album. I mean, you've heard 1% of. Okay.
No.
I mean, I don't see it. Like, I think it's like one of the heaviest things that we've ever recorded.
Yeah.
And yeah, it's contemporary. And yeah, it's Genty, because why not? I mean, but the rest of the songs are not even close to be sounding like Gent or something. Drummer, the Vlad, our drummer, actually did a major part of.
Oh wow, that's awesome.
Composing this album,
yeah,
and Eugene as well.
Yeah,
you guys just put out a new song. Two. Are those like separate from what?
No, this is from the upcoming album.
Okay, great, cool.
Yeah.
You guys have a date yet?
It's gonna be out in February.
February.
Oh yeah, nice.
So
couple of months.
left.
November, December, January.
Max told me a very interesting thing. He said that about the last record we just recorded, the one which is going to be out. He said that I know how you make your music. So we make songs and we pre-produce them, then send to Tatiana. She works on them. Nobody listens to her ideas. Nobody knows her ideas until the recording. So it was more or less the same this time, but for this time, she actually came and made first demos with vocals.
Yeah, with pre-production.
Yeah, we did the full circle of pre-production with vocals. So there were demos with vocals, and after that, she did the final vocals. But anyways, music comes first. This is what I mean. And Max says that when after everything is done, even though he knows how we make our music, it feels that she wrote very simple, catchy, let's say, songs, motives for her vocals, especially when she sings clean. And we did the arrangements to that. Just the vocals came first. He had such a feeling. And it's interesting because in the reality, everything is absolutely different, opposite. Like music, then she comes up with all these melodies to sing over these complicated riffs. And her simple yet catchy and cool vocal melodies, they make the music sound not as technical as it is really. Yeah, it is kind of covered under the layer of vocals.
Another song that really tells my story. So basically in Slavic culture, there's a name for alcohol and alcohol addiction. It's going to be 2 years already in December since I had my last drink. And so that's a little story about that.
Yeah.
About how sinners are turned into, how saints are turned into sinners in 1 hour after they drink.
We have a rehearsal room in Warsaw, small studio, yeah. And it's now our musical home. Yeah, it's a real home for me and Roman, and musical home for all bands. Yeah.
So why did you choose Warsaw from all the places around the world?
Because it reminds me Ukraine. And for Roman also, yeah, and we understand everything. We understand, like, mentally understand Polish people, and we like it. And just, it's our people, like Polish and Ukrainians are brothers. So yeah, I really like to live in Warsaw, so there is no choice. So we can pick other Polish city, Krakow or Katowice, but I really like Warsaw airport, so we can fly straight to like everywhere. Yeah, in states, in like everywhere from Warsaw airport. So 15 minutes and I home, and it's a huge plus to Warsaw. So yeah, I really enjoy it.
So you rent as rehearsal place in Warsaw, but you also recorded. Did you rent a studio, or did you have your own home studio?
No, we did it in our rehearsal spot.
Yeah, like we have everything for this, and the room sounds very good. Actually,
yeah, when we built it with Roman, and I put my drums there and like hit the kick drum first, and we're like, wow, it sounds amazing. Like we don't need a studio, we just can record everything here. So yeah, first at the beginning we thought about recording in Switzerland because our sound engineer who works in Ukraine with us, Max Morton, he worked with this studio a couple of times, and he had friends there. So at the beginning, we thought about recording in Switzerland, but after we build our rehearsal spot, so we change our decision plans. Yeah.
Mm. So absolutely great that you had this opportunity. You didn't have to go anywhere to record the album.
Yeah.
I had.
Yeah, only Eugene, Taki.
I don't live in Poland. I had to fly, but actually I came to play with the guys in Poland like almost every week when we were preparing the album. Like every 2 weeks or every week, I just flew into Warsaw and rehearsed.
Thanks for there and René.
Yeah, summertime, it's very cheap. $30 for a round trip. It's almost like taking a train. You know, like old days when you rehearsed with the guys and took a bus to go to rehearsal. And now it's a plane.
Yeah. And how about Tatiana? Because she lives still in California, I believe, right?
Yeah.
So did she come?
Yeah. She came to Warsaw for I think 1 month. Yeah, more than 1 month. So we had like I think we 2 weeks did demos for all songs, like vocal demos, and after I think week and a half more to make the like final album versions. More than
was like a month and a
half. Yeah, Tati lives in Warsaw with us. Yeah.
Well, obviously, the artwork was inspired by the title itself, and talking about the title and the concept of the album, it's mainly a question to Tatiana, but I can. So what I'm trying to say is that my answer may not be completely full and thorough, because I obviously cannot know everything which stood behind the Tatiana's choice and Tatiana's thinking about the concept of the album. But generally, the concept is like constant. Tatiana wanted to speak about the constant conflict inside the people's nature on different levels, not only on the level of like it's not only about conflicts between people, but it's also about conflicts inside our inner self and the conflict with your inner self. This is what but this is definitely what she wanted to say through the lyrics on this album, is that it's like a part of our nature. In my opinion, there is actually way more of an accent on clean vocals by her. But generally, yes, the album, especially from the first perspective, may sound like a heavier album compared to everything we did before. And I would say that in some way it is I actually did it before I said about this. I mentioned my own feelings, how I perceive the album. It's in some way this album is a step back to our earlier works, like Cloud Factory, let's say, and King of Everything. We managed to bring some elements out of those albums and implement them in the new works, in the new songs. And like always, nothing happens intentionally in this band. It wasn't like we met and agreed on let's make a heavy album. It just happened like this naturally. Everything came organically, and as always, I think it's just the music which represents how the band and individual musicians felt during the time when we were writing, when we were making the album. We felt like this, it happened like this, let's say, in short. We live now in different parts of the world, so we cannot write music the way we used to write music. And there are definitely changes, but only positive changes, if you ask me. Actually, now, being a band with a history, being a well-established band, worldwide known, we can actually devote much more time to writing, to production. There is less rush and there is less haste, let's say. We are not running for anything in short period. We can really have longer time making new records. And this is what happened with this record. Actually, this album took the longest to make, and I think first demos were ready back in 2022, so it's like almost 3 years in the production. And we, for the first time, we actually had the full pre-production range, including vocals. We never had demos with vocals before. On all the previous records, what Tatiana recorded was almost like improvisation made in the studio. Now it was totally different because we had all the songs with vocals pre-recorded. We had an opportunity to listen to them, change something. Yeah, and most importantly, Tatiana had an opportunity to learn her vocal lines and implement them and sing them way better during the final recording. So generally, the approach was different in many ways, not only because of the vocals. We completely upgraded our gears, guitars, amps, new sound for every instrument, like not only, let's say, guitar, also bass, and even the drums sound different, and I would say on the next level. And just songwriting wise, for example, I've never worked that hard on bass lines. There are some demos. There were some demos which I re-recorded like 5 times. So there were 5 different versions of bass guitar for only one song, let's say. So when you have time, when you have resources, you can really step up to the next level of production. And this is what I think, this is what we did on Duel. I just don't understand how it could be the other way. What's the purpose of releasing new music if you haven't done your homework, if you haven't prepared well, if you haven't improved? It just doesn't make sense to write anything new. The approach we have is a new record must be a new record, like really new, not just rearrange the old one. And if you ask me personally, I just don't see any sense in releasing something which is not better than your previous works.
What makes Max Morton the perfect guy to work with Ginger?
We perfectly understand each other. This is what I think makes him special. On the communication level,
Well, first of all, we speak the same language. And secondly, we've been working with the dude for, if I'm not mistaken, 11 years now. The very first mix he did for us was 2014 or even 13. So it's like 12 years. And over the years, we developed good friendship, good relationship. Max is not just a sound engineer we work with. Max is a good friend. We keep in touch just, on the routine level. I may text him and ask him how things are. He may text me and ask me how I feel. So we may talk about this and that, some news. And it's not that we just, contact each other when it's time to make new mix for the album. No. And it helps a lot because you build over the years, you build some sort of a chemistry in your relationship with people. And we are now at the point when we don't need to explain certain things. It simplifies everything. So when you know a person and you've been working with a person for 12 years, you don't need to explain some tiny little details. And it definitely speeds up the process. It makes the process way easier. And Max is one of those people who actually doesn't stand at one place like we do. He has been learning and becoming better and better as a sound engineer over all these years. And he has been moving with the band and him independently, only forward and forward. That's why after 5 releases done with him, made with him, we don't feel like he's like pulling us back or we overgrew him. No, we have been growing together and we are still, him and us, we can still impress each other in our own way and surprise each other in our own way. And that's why our cooperation is still so fruitful. To say I'm happy about how bass sounds and let's say, to say I'm happy is to say nothing. It's definitely it's a step up. I, in some way, relearned how to play bass for the new record. I wanted to use a lot of slapping on the new record, and I literally started to learn how to play double sums for this record, and it all worked very well. I'm more than happy. I'm more than happy about everything I did on bass. And honestly, the main concern I have, just generally talking about Duel, is that it's very hard for me to imagine how I'm going to overcome me myself, let's say for record number 6 when it's time to do it. Because I definitely pushed my own limits with Duel, and I pushed it so wide and so far that maybe I've come to the my natural limits, because everyone's got their natural limits, and I see my natural limits as a musician, and maybe I've come to this point already. So it's as much as I'm happy about Duel, how it sounds, how much I managed to self-express there, how much I managed to progress there as a musician, what new horizons, musical horizons I managed to open on Duel. Same way concerned and worried that I ran out of not inspiration, but I ran out of resources to progress even more for next records when it's time to make new records. Now, again, I am happy, more than happy. I really want to play all these songs live. This is what motivates me a lot. This is what moves me forward. It's time to share with the world the new record, the new songs. And I am so excited about going worldwide. And all these plans we have now touring plans. It motivates me a lot, but at the same time, there is a concern inside of me, deep inside of me, which has grown little by little, that I push the limit so far that it is the limit for me. It is just limit for me, and I won't be able to progress anymore on next records. There is a concern like that. If you push yourself to a certain level for the studio, it means that you are able to play this. And honestly, if you are in a position that you record something and you are not sure if you're able to play this live, it means that you just faked it. Any good musician, any musician who is just a musician, understand this. If you play it, you play it. If you don't play it, you don't play it. And the rule is simple as it is. If I really played, and I really played everything I have on the record, like from A to Z, it wasn't like sampling riffs note by note. No, I really played all those riffs. And I know that I will be able to play them live. Yeah, of course, it requires some rehearsing. There is a lot of work actually to practice and rehearse and to be ready to play it live. And there is also always a stress to play something live first. But I'm confident I can do that because I already did this on the record. And if you feel like you are not capable of doing that live, then you haven't recorded this. This is how I see it. Definitely it's Green Serpent. And it's a challenging actually song because of the final bass solo. I actually didn't think about how I'm gonna perform this in a sweaty venue with 1,000 or 2,000 fans in front of me, just heating everything up. And when the sweat is literally not on your guitar, but in the air. So when I was composing and recording this, I didn't think about it. And it's become a bit of a challenge because when you are literally dripping and sweat is everywhere and everything is just wet, soaking wet, playing such a gentle part at the very end of a headbanging song is a challenge. But so far it's been cool to perform it. Yeah, really, it's a driving force. It's a song which drives. We have it now in the first part of the set, and once I play it, I feel like double motivated to perform the rest of the set. A really cool song. And I'm looking also forward to perform live Tantrum, because this is the craziest bass lines I've ever recorded and I've ever composed, just generally. Tantrum is
outside of the singles, Tantrum is one of my favorite songs. And it's in my top 3 favorite songs of the album.
Thank you. It's actually one of my favorite songs too. And bass-wise, again, it's just one of the craziest stuff I've ever done.